Well, hello, welcome everyone to this round 6 encounter with the RaceOnOz Division 1 Championship. We've got a pretty full grid tonight, so it's going to be exciting. It is at the Goodwood Circuit, and Mint GTR Matt Simmons is back from Monaco in the FIA World Finals, and I thought, we're at the Goodwood Circuit, there's only 7 turns, and if you aren't familiar with the circuit, let's take you through it tonight and give you a pretty good rundown with one of the fastest races out there in the GT Sport world. Let's crack into it. So here is Matt Simmons' lap. Let's take you through the lap. As we get the lap started, we run up towards turn 1, which is Madgwick, and it is pretty flat out from here. He's lifting, careful on the throttle control, and then he's back onto it now up towards the run towards turn 2, which is Ford Water. The driver's going to have the sun in their eyes, and that's going to be quite difficult for them to navigate through, and if they've got traffic around, they've got to be careful about it. And then it's pretty much flat out before you come up to St. Mary's here, and it's one of the slowest parts of the track where he actually flicks down to 4th gear. Up to turn 4, which is a tricky double apex right-hander Levant corner, and Matt getting it nailed in the qualifying practice beforehand. And then this is the Levant straight. So we're running all the way down up towards turn number 5, which is Woodcote. And this is where we're going to see some massive slipstream action happen tonight. Braking once again, getting back down into 4th gear it seems. Sitting about halfway on the throttle, careful not to run too wide through there. And then into the final 2 corners in the chicane. And Mint Matt coming out across the start timing line, and he got a best 1:13.676. Incredible time there from Mint Matt. But the race is about to begin, so get ready for this one. It is a race around the Goodwood Motor Circuit, which is 3.8 kilometres long. It is located in West Sussex in the UK, at the Goodwood House Estate, and the track itself actually encircles the entire Goodwood Airport. And the track itself was first used in 1948, and if for any history buffs out there, not to get confused with the hill climb circuit, which was first used in 1936. Qualifying is over, and we're going to take you straight to the racing action. Here it is. So welcome along to this one. This is round 6. And there you can see Keaton 231 getting the best time. 1:13.258. Mint Matt not too far in behind. Waiting for the start. Thank you, Daniel. Here we go. Things are about to get very tasty. as we get this race underway. Keaton on the front row with Mint Matt. It's going to be an absolute flat-out drag race up towards the first turn, but they're not got much time to calm down or get their thoughts back on the lap, because there's just so much going on. All the Ferraris right now screaming through, and they're coming around the first turn now, and that was nice and clean, and they're going to be upwards some speeds. What do we got sitting? 224 at the front, 230, and Mint Matt sitting in that slipstream perfectly. Thank you, Dino J, for the like. And at the moment, it's going to be a flat-out competition between Keaton and Mint Matt here at the moment. This is going to be something that we're going to keep an eye on all night tonight. It's going to be a wild one, I can assure you of that. So what a race it's been. We didn't get the last round, unfortunately. Those Ferraris absolutely screaming as they come through. Apex into 5th right now, down the straight. Apex 64, everyone trying to stay in the slipstream. Groover defending from Chopper Dog, who thought he might have a go around the outside, but Groover was smart enough to hold it. Apex running wide just before the chicane there. And it looks like absolutely everyone who got through perfectly, and there's nothing to complain about there. We'll turn down the sound a little bit there. It's quite loud. If we had someone off, we have had someone off. Let's see if we can't find where it happened. Was it Razor? No, it was a little bit before that. Razor got through. It was Apex. So Apex is around, and he's now got a lot of time to catch up. He's going to be falling way off the pace. What happened to Apex? Oh, he's just run too wide, and the grass has caused him to be sent into a flurry. And there he goes. It is still Keaton in the lead. Mint Matt's still 2 tenths in behind, and it's going to be an extremely hard race for Keaton tonight to shake the tail of Mint Matt, who is ready to impress here in the round 6 encounter. They're getting side on, scraping panels as they navigate through just before the chicane there, and Mint's gone wide out of the chicane. This is an unlikely mistake, and he's going to fall all the way backwards, maybe behind Revo Bryant, and he's all the way down into 4th, but it's Keaton who's remained mistake-free, and he's kept that impeccable consistency up here, and it remains at the moment. This was on board with Matt Simmons just before through the chicane. I don't know, he couldn't get the turn. I think he was trying to give room for Keaton there, trying to do the right thing, and it's sort of his car's just understeered on him, and out he's gone. He's a race lap with Mint. Well, don't forget, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to us here. Appreciate all the support that you guys give us out there each and every week. It is fantastic to have you along. So there it is. A pretty decent lap down with Matt there. He's recovered well. You can see they're pushing extremely hard through the chicane. This is Groover. He's sitting in between Chopper Dog and Big Kev at the moment. Big Kev's fallen off a little bit, but the two Selby boys, teammates, they can work together. Groover's going to try and make an impact here tonight. Oh no, Big Kev. Big Kev's had a huge moment. Huge moment around Madgewick, and he's going to let Captain Risky and Hatfield around, and it is what had happened to Kev. Kev was looking mighty fine. So came in. Oh, he couldn't get the car rotated. The car just wouldn't work. It was understeering. And there you can see it was mighty time for him to give up those positions. Thank you, Tyler Blackburn, for your support. You're now following us. I think you're the 600th follower, Tyler. So huge props to you, bro. I think you've just hit a huge milestone here on Demo 1 on the Facebook. I'm pretty sure your number's 600. Welcome along. So Big Kev down in 10th. But there's a huge opportunity here for Hatfield. Captain Risky's keeping it tight and close. Or there could be a mistake out just before the chicane. Risky's managed to hold it off though. That was a lucky one, I must say. This was the incident. You can see he was coming through the chicane and yeah, it was off the road a little bit, but Risky held it well. There's a absolutely intense battle happening down here in 12th, 11th and 10th. They might not get much airtime, but we're giving it to them today as they cannot sort out these positions. Pubs is there. He wants a top 10 finish for himself tonight. I'm sure of it. Keaton, though, let's go back to the front. He's 6/10 ahead of 007, who is really pushing it hard in the Ferrari. And they've got a huge gap, 2.3 seconds to Mint Matt, who has made his way around Brian. And he's now on the charge back forward. So Brian, if Brian and Matt can work together, they might be able to close this gap before the end of the 38 laps has elapsed. But they're going to need to do that because it's going to be quite a task. This is on board with 007 as he gives chase. Coming down the timing line here to start lap 6 into the first turn. This is Madgwick corner. And then they are at the airport on the inside there. You can see planes all ready for takeoff. All the VIPs getting in on helicopters. It'll be an absolutely awesome day out at Goodwood. It's a spectacular looking circuit. Doak 420 has followed us on Twitch. Welcome along, Doak. You are also a legendary character that has joined us here in Demo 1. Thank you so much for that support, brother. But at the moment, it doesn't look like 007 has made any leeway into Keaton. Keaton seems to have it covered. As we go back to third, Matt Simmons, he's built the gap on Brian. So it looks like it's going to be all Matt from here on in. Chopper Dog though, he's got a big task ahead of him, doesn't he? Groover, he's looking mighty hungry for this one, and he's been hungry for it for a while. Hopefully you guys can understand me a little all right tonight. I've sort of lost my voice last night at a party. Oh, Chopper Dog with a small mistake, and that it was what Groover was looking for, and it could be an opportunity for Xerxes and Risky in behind, as Xerxes is now pouncing on the back of the Selby man. Chopper Dog right now under the pump, and it could be through turn 1, not quite yet. Chopper Dog gets the power and the traction back down, and he's starting to pull away slightly from Xerxes, but that was a hot moment for Chopper Dog there. And from here on in, he just needs to keep his calm and keep that racing line nice and clean. Let's analyse the situation that happened to him before. So he's coming through Levant. Sorry, Wood. That's Woodcote. Into the chicane. Oh, hit the inside wall. That's a mistake many people make. And that was what lost in the position to Groover. And as you can see, Xerxes, he wants some. And he wants some of the Chopper Dog action. He wants to be up there with his teammate, Groover, who is now sitting firmly in the top 5. .38 laps as well. They're at 7 of 38 tonight, so sprint round. Have a look at the tyres there, the fuel levels as well. There could be some fuel saving happening. Just keep an eye on that one. But yeah, it's not as crowded through here as I thought it might be with that glare in the eyes. The drivers have all sort of spread out somewhat. This is Captain Risky's in 8th place. Hatfield's up to 9th. Pubs is he's got that top 10 I was saying he wanted to get. He's there at the moment, and he's going to be super stoked with that. Kev is 11th. There might have been some mistakes backwards, because now Apex has been caught by Razor. So remember, Apex was the first driver we saw go off through turn 1 a few laps ago. And now Razor's giving chase here in the number 47. It's an unfortunate start there for Razor. He wants to do a lot better tonight. And he's going to be kicking himself for being so far down the order in 13th place. But hey, what can you do? You can only practice and get a little bit better. And that'll be what Razor is looking forward to doing. Looks like he's struggling here to catch that slipstream of Apex slightly. Apex seems to have it covered as they come into the outer woodcut, into the chicane right now, across the timing line to start lap 8. End of lap 8 rather, and start 9. Go to the front though, and it's still a close affair between Keaton and 007. This one I think is going to come down to the wire, and if any of these front runners will force themselves into a mistake here, and whether or not 007 can hold on for the entire totality of the duel here at Goodwood. It's an absolutely stunning scrap that is unfolding. It's an unfortunate situation that Matt Simmons, Matt, who you might know from the FIA World Finals, he was there fighting for Australia in the Nations Cup alongside Nick Bacozzi. And I do apologise to the other guy. I've totally forgotten your name off the top of my head. And but yeah, there was some really good. There was a lot of us. There was a few Australians actually at Monaco, which was good to see. Surely it's not 007 as well that was over there, because I know 007 is an FIA World Finalist himself. So we got some of the fastest drivers here in the country, and right now they're all fighting for glory here at the Goodwood circuit. And right now there's Keaton, who doesn't qualify for the FIAs. He's definitely quick enough, and maybe one day we will see Keaton on your screens at an eSports event somewhere. But at the moment, yeah, it is still 007 giving chase to that man ahead, which is Keaton. He's dominated the season so far, and it's proving to be a difficult one to beat. There's the field just about to hit the halfway mark now, so they are going to have to fill up, and it's going to be an interesting situation to see what they go, how much they use the tyre wear as well. Oh no, this could be an error as we're riding on board with 007. He's hit the inside curb there, and that's gonna give Mint Matt, that's gonna claw Mint Matt back into it. And what these two can do right now, huge mistake from 007. The chicane once again taking another victim, and that is where we've seen the big boys all tonight. That's where they've all lost out, inside that inside chicane. That part is absolutely killing people's races. But now Mint Matt, maybe if they can talk to each other telepathically, if they're on the same wavelength, they can push forward and use a slipstream and some bump drafting to get back up into the fight with Keaton. It's not too late, but this is really, really heating up now. And it's so good to see. So good to see. Absolutely punish the cars. Oh no, again. They're so close to the limit. Again, another little mistake. And that's gonna let the man in the 007, the 777, he's gonna disappear. Another costly error. This is where 007 made that one the last lap. Watch this. He was right on the tail of Keaton. Or did we did we not hit the marker point on our keyboard? So we've been made to look a fool. But it was the lap after that, I think, where 007 made the mistake, and that's why the gap has now grown to 3 seconds between him and Keaton. It's if Keaton can stay error free, it's a real testament to this guy's ability and his concentration, that he can be so fast but at the same time so consistent. And in motor racing, that is so important. Now back down towards the midfield, we got Brian, who's comfortably in 4th place, and he's got it. They're really falling off the top 3 now, 7 seconds down. But he does have a bit of a buffer between him and Gruber, 1.5 seconds, which is It's comfortable, but Brian will be monitoring that gap and hoping it doesn't close up anytime soon. Xerxes is up into 6th, so there's been some action. Captain Risky, the first of the drivers in. Well, Zaquen's no dramas, brother. No dramas at all. But hello. It's good to see you, bro. So the medium tyres. Risky's onto the mediums and he's come out. He's come out just ahead of Big Kev. And Kev's got him into the apex of turn 1. And now these two are squaring off. Big Kev's still on the soft tyres. So Captain Risky's actually, he's had his pit stop. Now when does the race leader decide to pit yet? Usually not. Usually Keaton goes for a long time. 007 doesn't do it. Mint Matt doesn't do it. What does Brian do? He's in 4th place. Oh no, Mint Matt did rather. Is Brian going to follow suit? No, he's thrown the dummy. And Mint Matt out on the mediums. And it's going to be a drag between him and Groover. Groover comes around the outside as Mint Matt gets back into the racing action. And he's now squarely in between the two Pagnian drivers who have got the retro liveries here tonight. And Zaquenz has told us he's seeing the snow. I've never, ever seen snow in person. It's because it's just so hot in this country, in Australia. Now, I do apologise for the chat. It's supposed to be updating everybody because I have updated it in the thing, but for some reason it is just not doing its job. So I do apologise for that. I'll see if I can't reload it. Oh, Groover. Groover almost ruined his night. Oh, that was lucky. How did he get away with that? That was so lucky for Groover. Now look at this. We've got Apex and Razor now. They're still not separated. They've been there now for some 6 to 7 extra laps since we last checked in with them. The gap is down to 3/10. And now it's getting quite intense as this scrap unfolds. This little duel here along Goodwood. It's all about bragging rights at the moment for these two. And also getting a little bit of extra points on the board for themselves. Can Apex hold off Razor here? It's one of the big unknowns at the moment. Razor staying within the track limits to Apex, running a little wide. He might be close to overdriving. So he's got to be careful about that at this moment. I'm just going to say hello on Facebook. So hello on Facebook. Hope all is well in the world. Yes, the chat seems to be back up and working. So we've done that while commentating. So that's good. That's good. We've proven we can at some point multitask. But as you can see, it was Apex who's he's just got that competitive edge at the moment over Razor. There's not much Razor can do. Back to the front, Keaton slowly inching further ahead over his competitors. It was about 3.5 seconds the gap before. He's gained at least 4/10, and it is now 3.9. He's got all, look at that, he's got all the racetrack to himself. He can do what he wants. He can dictate the pace. And at the moment, he's comfortably lapping this Goodwood circuit. His last lap at 1:13. There we go. The chat messages have updated. Way delayed, but welcome along, chat. It's good to have you with us. 007 continues forward. Here we go. We got Brian and Matt. So Matt hasn't been able to get back up in front of Brian just yet. Brian, I'd imagine, still sitting on soft tyres. He is. And there you can see his fuel's coming down to the last quarter. So they do need to take a fuel stop as well. Something they will have to consider. Zerx is in 5th place. And again, he's got a lot of track to himself. But it's getting quite tense now between Hatfield and Groover. So Groover going into the pits. He's come out on those mediums. He hasn't taken fuel yet, though. He's gone side by side with Hatfield. They're both trying to make the corner. There's just enough room here at Goodwood for them as they come into St. Mary's. And Groover pushed out wide, and there could be the switch over. Hatfield was the unlucky one, and he lost out of that one. But a great little battle between Groover and Hatfield. And there's some really good battles forming between heaps of duos through the circuit. So we've got to keep an eye out on everything. And at the moment, Hatfield's getting that slipstream. And he's almost making a move back around Groover here. Groover doesn't want to let that happen as they come up towards the chicane. Matt's in. So Mint's getting rid of those mediums that were mandatory. Or is he taking fuel? Is he just taking fuel? No, he's taking the new tyres as well. So Matt down into 8th place. And Razor also took to the pits. And he, let's see what Razor did. He went to the mediums and he didn't take fuel. Oh no, Razor, this is going to compromise his lap and his out lap if he's trying to do the overcut on anyone. It's not going to work. Razor, that's going to compromise a lot of time this lap. That's something Razor didn't need. Hatfield still giving chase. Let's have a look at the battle that happened before. Look at this. They were side by side between each other coming up towards St. Mary's. And we thought Hatfield might get it, but Groover snuck ahead. So we're back with the live action with him now. And he's still in 6th place as Groover runs wide through the second and final corner. Zerx is in the pits as well. And look at this. It's a straight line battle of speed between these two competitors. Zerx is on the medium tyre. Apex, we think, is going to go to the medium as well. Through turn 1, and it was Groover who had the superior grip and just that little bit of extra speed. And he used all that momentum to chuck him round the corner and stay ahead of what has been an intense battle for 4th place. And right now, it is anyone's game. But keep a close eye on the strategy calls being made out there, because things are going to get quite interesting on the run to the closing laps here. Keaton. His last lap, 1:13.8. He still is yet to take tyres and fuel. Same situation with 007. Needs tyres and fuel. And as talk of the devil, Brian is in the pits. And not surprisingly, he's going to take fuel here. And it should be a run to the end on the mediums. He's losing spots. Where's he going to come out into the thick of it? Just in behind. He's in 5th place. He's just ahead of Mint Matt, who's down to 6th right now. And I think Xerxes is also getting rid of the mediums and taking fuel to go back to the softs. So there's a huge eclectic mix of strategy here. Let us explain. Some have gone, I think what some are going to do, they're just going to do their first stint until they run out of fuel, take the mediums, fill up and run to the end. Some have already taken mediums for 1 or 2 laps and then taken fuel and got softs at the same time. Let's see what 007's doing. Taking fuel. He'll be fueled to the end, no doubt. It's a long hold. And he's out into the thick of it. He's back in second place. Groove is coming through in third. And it is Hatfield in fourth. Hatfield's going to go in. Get rid of those mediums. And Mint Matt is in sixth place. So, this is where it stands with the lead up. As we come to the close of this race, he's still yet to take a pit stop. He's doing 1:14s now, so his lap time is coming up. I think it's time for Keaton to take to the pits, because he might be losing too much time here. There's 007. His last lap's going to be quite high because it was a pit lap. But that is who he's racing at the moment. Is there 3 seconds in it, though? Here we go. We're about to find out, and our answer is only moments away. Keaton taking fuel. Taking fuel. This is where 007 is. Still yet to come to the chicane. And Keaton's out on the mediums. And there you go. There wasn't enough time in it for 007 to catch back up. But it was worth a try. That lap was a 1:16. It was nowhere near quick enough, was it? Groover, but up to third right now. He's doing a 1:14. Things could get really interesting here. And I think they will. Brian, a 1:13. He's even quicker than Groover. 1:13.5. He's also slightly quicker. So we've got some quicker drivers down the middle order. And we've got some slower tyres also forward. Apex 64. Now, how has he managed to get himself up to 6th place? He needs to take fuel. So it's going to be it looks like it's only going to be a short stint on those mediums. Because they'll last you forever by the looks of it. And there's Hatfield in 7th. His lap time last was a 1:17. But it's Groover at the moment. Oh, Keaton's actually getting rid of the mediums. So he's done a lap on them. It's not worth staying on them. So, and he's taken a little bit more fuel. That's given 007 the lead. Out comes Keaton. Where's Groover? Groover's getting rid of the mediums. That's going to put Mint Matt back up into, 4th place at the moment. As Revo Brian's out in 3rd. This is a hugely strategic race here tonight. So he's on the softs and he's got the fuel. So he's got the tyre to the end. Keaton, he's got the tyre to the end and he's got the fuel. And I think 007's going to try run to the end on the mediums. His last lap was a 1:15.2. I don't know if he's going to make it. I think he's going to be too slow. He's going to lose a lot more. I think he needs to go into the pits now and just get rid of them. He's going to lose too much time every lap. Absolutely too much time. 15. There's about 15 to go. And 2. That's 30 seconds. Yeah, not surprising. Good call. He needed to do that. So that will give this man... He will retake the lead. But it's going to be extremely close now between Matt and Brian. And 007. There he goes. And Mint. You can see 007. He's trying to get him up to speed. He's now got some cold tyres. And what a finish we've got going here. Who would have thought Brian would be up in the mix? But he's actually done exactly what he needed to do. And the quickest strategy is the reason he's up in 2nd place. Now we've got all 4 drivers who could possibly win this. But with the consistency Keaton shows, you could safely bet it's a battle for 2nd. Here we go. This is going to be a big one now, as it's a sprint to the end. 007 did the right thing. So Revo did a 1:14 last lap. Mint Matt, he did a 1:13.6. So there you go. It's not going to be long, I don't think, before Brian is swallowed whole by the two behind him. They are just a little bit quicker than him tonight. And Revo, well, he's got a car. He can defend the position. It's going to be an enormous task for Brian here, but he's going to give it an almighty crack, I'd say. And let's see how long he can hold these two off as they look at the slipstream effect from 007. It is a slingshot. Just flies you around the outside. The BHR man now, oh, they're side by side. They're clanging panels. Oh, 007, that was a huge hold for 007. The squirrelies, that was heart in your mouth stuff from him. He must have been gripping that wheel so tight to get that one back straight. What a showcase of skill. 007, give that man an applause. On the edge stuff, and he still maintains control. The car wanted to go. Oh, that was incredible. But at the moment, he's now being pressurized from Matt, and that's letting Brian get away slightly. Oh no, Mint's gone. Look at this. Look at the hold that 007 did here. He hit the grass and he just caught it again. Huge moment. Now Mint Matt, as we come into the chicane, we just cut away as he did this. He ran wide. He had all four wheels off, and again, another moment similar to what we saw 007 have. So Matt also losing himself some time. Hope you're enjoying tonight's feature race here. If you haven't already, make sure you're following Demo 1 Garage on either Facebook, YouTube, Mixer. We're now on Mixer. And Twitch as well. So thank you very much to all those who have been long-time supporters. Appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying what we're broadcasting each and every week. Oh no, look at this, 007. Almost sideways as Matt is angrily trying to get his nose through. But yes, we're live here on Demo 1 each and every time on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and now Mixer, so you can pick your favorite platform. If you are on Facebook, we do stream in 1080p everywhere else. It is just Facebook that stops us from having 1080p. They don't support it for whatever reason. So if you are thinking you want better quality, want to use the HD TV, make sure you check out our other streams. They are in full HD. Now, 007, he just can't find a way through, can he? Brian has just made that Ferrari 458 wider than it was given to him. There's going to be calls to get that investigated, I think, because he's doing such a spectacular job here of blocking any moves 007 tries to make. And he's just coming up short each and every time. But here we go. There could be a nose. Nope, he's tucked it back in, and Brian can breathe for another corner at least. I mean, it's just sitting off the back end there, off the bow. Not the bow. He's sitting up. He's sitting aft, rather, of these two, and he's not getting involved here at the moment. I think he's just waiting for something to happen. Is it this the moment now? 007 got up the inside. Look how close they are. You could only fit, there's a hair widths between them at times. And they're doing such a good job of putting on a fantastic show. Let's have a look. Brian, he's just using that car so well to block the run. And there's absolutely nothing 007 can do about it at the moment. He just needs Brian to slip up, probably out of the chicane or into St. Mary's. It's going to be his best opportunity. Or down this straight, the Levant straight. Is this it? He's going to squeeze it in. It's neck and neck stuff between them. They're too wide through the final corner. And look at this. He's slotted just ahead of Brian. That was an incredible overtake. That was at least 10 laps in the making. And once again, Matt got caught out by the chicane. But a huge moment just before for 007. And he is looking likely to be the fan favourite tonight. Look at this. This was a great little action replay. He just squeezed it in the front. And then, unfortunately for Mint Matt, through the chicane, it was wide again. And it's been the story of his night so far. And he'll be hoping to come out of this, I think, and learn from it tonight. But 007, take a bow, son. But we shouldn't forget the efforts of Brian in all of that. He did so well to defend numerous attacks from this man, 007, but wow, it was an incredible move. I don't think even the world's best could have predicted would happen. And there you go. He's up into second place. We haven't talked about Keaton much, but well, that's all happened. He's grown that gap to 7.5 seconds. And it's not surprising that he's so far ahead of everyone. Lap 30 of 38 now. Let's get a quick update through the field because we haven't seen much action apart from these two now for some time. And is Mint Matt up into 4th place. And it looks like he might be settling for that tonight. He's just made a few too many errors, which have cost him. And then it's Groover up to 5th. He's been there after working hard. And he hasn't given it up since he got and took 5th place. Hatfield's in 6th. He needs to be a little bit quicker to catch up to Groover now. Xerxes. Well, he was a little bit further forward, but it was strategy that got him there. And after all the pit stops and stints are taken, he's back to 7th. And here we go. We got something between Captain Risky and Razor now. So Razor's recovered pretty well. Because Razor was one of the first drivers we saw off and into the barriers out of turn 1 not so long ago. And he's now on the tailpipes of this man, Captain Risky. Can Risky do what we saw Brian do further forward? Or does Razor have a secret weapon planned? Can be quite cool, calm and calculated, Razor. Let's see if he can do it. There is only about 8 laps to go, and he'll be keeping a very nervous eye on that as the lap counter goes down. Yellow in the sector. Have we had an issue? I think it was Xerxes. And Xerxes now being called up from these two. And that's such a huge moment for Xerxes. He's losing 2 spots in 1. We will get you the replay of that in a moment. But as this comes around, thank you, Peter Hatfield, for liking the stream. Every like and share you guys do helps us out immensely. So thank you very much for that. But it is still Razor and Risky right now. And Razor, I just don't think he's got that top end on Captain. Just seems to be beaten. It's just enough to be beaten. This is Xerxes. Let's have a look. What happened to him? Because you could see he was running 7th place. Oh, he'd come wide out before the chicane. That's an odd spot. And he's hit the inside barrier. And that has completely stopped the momentum. And as you can see, it was Captain Risky and Razor. They weren't too far behind. They were green flag racing. And it was an easy pass for them. So Xerxes right now in 9th place. Oh, look at this. We go to the onboard action. And Risky and Razor were absolutely tooth and nail fighting for it. Swords out and everything. Got a man down, I thought. Razor, he's done well to catch that. What happened here? So Risky went wide. He went to turn in. Oh, Razor come ahead of him. Oh, Razor somehow cut the corner. Look, Razor did well to control it. And he kept within the race there. That was incredible stuff from Razor. And his gap now is only 5/10. She's getting really, really aggressive now. Look at this. So we might get an answer as to why he cut that corner. I think he just wanted to give room. Yeah, Risky was just all over the apex. So there wasn't much Razor could do. We get back to it now. And I wonder if Razor's going to have another go at that. Same sort of move. The slingshot, that slipstream he got, helped him slingshot around. Down the Levant straight, but I think he needs to be just a little bit closer at the end of this lap to make something of it. Looking out the back of Risky's car. And this is what he's got to deal with now. This is Razor filling up his rear vision mirror. And giving him nightmares, some would say. So that's a 4/10 gap, 4/10 gap. That's what that looks like physically. Oh, we've lost Xerxes. That was Xerxes dropping out on us. But yeah, Razor and Risky, these two, they had a really, really close moment a lap ago. And it almost ended in tears for both or one of them. But it was Razor that held on tight. Here we go. This is what I thought would happen again. Once Razor gets close enough, down into the Levant chicane, the double apex corner. Out of Woodcote, Razor's gone wide into the chicane right now. And they need to be fully committed through there because I think that's what's going to win it for some of them. Let's have a quick look down into 9th place. It's Chopper Dog. And then it's Big Kevin, 10th place. Oh no, Kev. That's going to slow him down. That's going to give Pubs an opportunity maybe to catch back up. It seems an easy circuit, but some of them are really struggling. Apex is glitched out in the pits. So, good to see. I mean, they do. This is the home of 2-wheel and 4-wheel racing. So, 2 wheels for Apex, that'll work. But it's Keaton, 9.5 seconds, 10 seconds now. That's a huge gap. Huge gap he's done by himself. And Matt's actually gotten ahead of Brian here, so Mint is now up to 3rd. And Brian down into 4th. He couldn't hold off the guys any longer. I wonder what tyres he was using. No, on the softs, so Brian was on the quicker tyre. It's 114 though. The guys ahead of him doing 113s. So I think that was that was bound to happen, wasn't it? Still quick times, but not quick enough. Now this is the unknown. We've got 3 to go. And can Risky hold this man off for just another few laps? That's all he's got to do it for. Just a few more laps. He's going all over the road, trying to break the slipstream. And Razor knows what's happening. Look at that. Risky's just got the confidence through there, doesn't he? Through St. Mary's that Razor just doesn't possess. And that looks like it's going to be the difference. Razor needs to test those limits, I think. It might not work for him. Oh, no. And Razor's gone. That's the error I think Risky was looking for so long. And time got to Razor. Let's have a look. He just went wide. And the car was just understeering for him. He couldn't get it rotated in to the corner. And yeah, he just lost a lot of time trying to get back onto the power. Have a look at the different degradation levels on the tyres as well. Where Risky's got a considerable more. What am I trying to say? He's got more grip left. While Razor he's used quite a bit on that loaded side. His front left especially is getting close to being halfway done. So So things are getting quite slippery out there for some of the drivers. I think that might have contributed to why Razor was understeering the way he was just then. But I think it's all but put a nail in the coffin for him here. I don't think there's enough time for him to catch back up to Risky. The gap's only a second, but again, another mistake. And with his tyres dropping away from him, that's going to really hurt his chances. And yes, there you go. The gap grows. Risky gets away another almost second with a similar error from Razor, as those tyres are just not doing the work he needs them to do anymore. But it's up the front. It's Keaton. Incredible lap times from this man. 1:13.9 at the moment. And he's been the benchmark that you will measure yourself against in all success in the RaceOnOz series. Keaton, if you can beat Keaton, you know you've had a good race. And he's going to start the final lap here for round number 6 here at Goodwood. And what a round it's been. It's been a one full of strategy and just flat out commitment around this Goodwood circuit. And 007, he's also worked tirelessly to get back up into second. Could have been a different story for Matt. Up into third, he will take a podium, but it's looking like that's the best he'll do. Now, Brian's had to come in for fuel. I don't know if that's a mistake. Oh, he had to take the mediums. He's yet to take the mediums. So Brian's left it to the very last minute, and somehow he's just come out ahead of Groover. Groover is going to get him through the first turn, and he does. Huge mistake from Brian. He was trying to get the power down and get the pace out of him, but cold tyres meant he didn't make the corner. Look at this. He hit those two wheels on the grass, and that car is never going to turn in for you. And it was a huge mistake from Brian at the end. But it's Keaton 231. Thank you very much, Brent. And you're just about to witness Keaton take the checkered flag here for round 6. And fantastic win for him. It'll be 007 to come around in second place. And he will also be jubilant to see that flag fly. And then Mint Matt, again, recovered well to get third from everything that happened. Groover's moved up to 4th place after that late error from Brian. And, you know, you never give up in motorsport. And while Groover didn't look like he'd be moving anywhere further forward than 5th, there was a late surprise in store, as Brian had yet to take the mediums. So Groover, well done, buddy. And Brian just missing out, but a top 5 finish nonetheless. It is Hatfield in 6th place. And it's Risky in 7th. And looks like Chopper Dog has gotten around Razor. So Razor's fallen back a further position on that lap. Oh, Risky. What has happened? So Chopper Dog, we're trying to find where Chopper Dog made the overtake, because it looked like Razor had the gap on him as they were coming into the final lap here. I don't know what happened at the end there with people disconnecting. Very interesting. But there's your final positions. Well, what a race it has been tonight. You've been watching it here on Demo 1. And thanks to all the new followers and subscribers we've gotten tonight. It is we couldn't be here without you, so thanks once again. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit the like button if you liked what you saw tonight. Or if you're on Facebook as well, don't forget to like the page, follow us, subscribe, make sure you got notifications on as well, so you don't miss a race. Unfortunately, nothing for us tomorrow like we usually do. They're having Thanksgiving break. We'll be back on a week on the 8th, which is technically the 9th for us, with the Elite Division in the SFR GT Challenge. But join us next time, same time next Sunday, for the final round here for the RaceOnOz Season 9. It's been absolutely spectacular, and I'm so humbled to be a part of the season and in the league, commentating on some of the quickest drivers out there, and it's been a pleasure. But until then, Race hard and on the edge. My name's Josh Gain, being your commentator. And thanks again for your support. I will see you in the next race. Good night.